So today we're going to be continuing to talk about the dumbest rivalry in sports history between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I've never have I ever seen something like this. It would be like saying, I don't know, after their rookie seasons that LeBron was not a top 5 player after his rookie year. It's like saying that not quite Darko was better than LeBron, but it's like saying David West was better than LeBron after their rookie seasons. And the reason why we're talking about this is because, as usual, the Angel Reese voter stopped Caitlin Clark being unanimous. So that voter needs to be named and shamed because we need to know if it's just, like, it's one thing to think Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark. It's another thing to be the one voter that didn't have Caitlin Clark on either of your all NBA teams, all WNBA teams. Like, they're two very different things. Like, for anyone being like, "Oh, she can vote for what she wants," I actually have no idea what is wrong with my computer. I need to just getting rid of the lower tabs. I paid so much money for this computer and it barely functions. But yeah. So obviously that happened. And it's getting annoying at this stage because it's like there's actually somebody in the media that is allowed to vote on these awards that I'm not even going to say has a bias, but just has it out. So you're not even a bias for a player. It's one thing to for a player, but they have a bias against a player. And we've seen what that happen when that happens in the NBA, how bad things can happen. When voters with biases for or against, not even for players, against players, are allowed free reign. We saw it that kept Dwight Howard off the NBA 75th team. Dwight Howard is closer to the 40th ranked player in the NBA history than he is 75, but he missed out on the 75th because a lot of voters who had a bias against Dwight Howard were allowed vote on it. They were allowed vote. But she will never win anything unanimously. Can we make an educated guess in one of success? No idea. Cheryl Swoops, I don't think she has a vote. My question is, she take the European League offer as leverage. I have no idea what they're on about. Enough to be an Olympian, but that's the thing. That is the thing when it comes to this. It's just the one missing vote, and it's nothing to do with basketball. And like a lot of people are like, "Oh, the Angel Reese 4th place MVP vote." Like, it's fine to think Angel Reese is better, and that's fine. But like, to not put her in your top 10 players. She broke the all-time assist record. She was like 7th in the league in scoring. She was like the 5th most efficient. If I'm not mistaken, she was like the 5th most efficient scorer in the WNBA. Like, outside of Kayla McBride and, to be fair, Kelsey Mitchell, she was the next most efficient scoring guard in the league. As far as efficiency goes, there is no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. And if you're going to say, what about defense? Well, what about it? Like, an individual player's defense doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things that much. Like, if you're going to be saying a player sucks because of defense, then you're telling me Magic Johnson sucks. You're telling me Steve Nash sucks. You're telling me the vast majority of guards in the NBA suck. You're telling me 2018 LeBron sucked. No. Like, a player that has the offensive load of Caitlin Clark needs to be hidden on defense. Because we've seen when Caitlin Clark wants to play defense, she can. It's just, obviously, nobody in sports history has the power or has the ability to dominate the ball on offense like Caitlin Clark and still be a lockdown defender. NBA, WNBA, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't happen. The only quote-unquote two-way players we see are wings who are not normally on the ball, or bigs who rim protect most of the time on defense. But, yeah, and it's just like, it's so hard to take these voting seriously when there is a voter that is voting against Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better word, better way of describing it, because she's Caitlin Clark. Like, there's no justifiable basketball reason to not have Caitlin Clark in either of your all-W teams. And even if you are somebody that had Angel Reese as 4th place in MVP, I think that's ludicrous. But at the same time, even if you do think that, then cool. If you have Caitlin Clark on your all-W second team, like, look, I don't agree with it, but like, there's some logic there. But taking her off the all-W teams and making sure. I can almost guarantee you that this voter had Dearica Hamby on her first. She was the voter who had Dearica Hamby, Kelsey Mitchell on her first team. And also, I can almost guarantee you this is one of the voters that didn't this is the voter that did not have Stewie on the first team. I would be so shocked if this is not the voter that put, or if this is not one of the two voters that put Breanna Stewart on the second team. Like, I would be very, very confident that this voter's card looked like Aja, Fee, Kelsey Mitchell, Angel Reese, and Dearica Hamby for the first team. I would be shocked because we saw the third place MVP voting for Kelsey Mitchell. There was a voter there who made their vote to say Caitlin Clark is not that good. Like, that's the only thing they wanted to show. They went with everything. They went with every single knock on Caitlin Clark. Angel's better. She's not even Rookie of the Year. Oh, you know what? She's not even the best player on her team. Kelsey Mitchell's better. They went with everything. Like, and I can almost guarantee you it's the same voter. And if it's not, the WNBA needs to release it anyway. Because who knows? Maybe there is a voter that voted Caitlin Clark Rookie of the Year that just didn't think Caitlin Clark belonged to be on either of the teams and didn't think Angel Reese deserved to either. Maybe there's a voter that had Angel Reese fourth for MVP and Caitlin Clark third for MVP. And just thought the rookies were unbelievable. Which is still equally as crazy, but who knows? Maybe that voter existed. But I'm just sitting there like, they have to release these because we're now making up these situations in our heads about what voters voted with, who voters voted, and we've all made up a situation in our heads, and it's highly likely to be correct, that there is a WNBA voter that literally their goal was to make sure Caitlin Clark didn't win anything unanimously. Didn't get anything unanimous. And for that reason, it needs to be shown. It needs to be shown. It does. And people are like, oh, people just want to attack that voter. And it's like, more so than anything, that voter shouldn't be allowed to vote again. Like, it's like saying that, imagine last year being like, well, Luka Doncic, I know he averaged 35, 9, and 9, but I think Kyrie's the best player on his team, so yeah, I'm not going to even vote Luka Doncic on my 2 All-NBA teams. Like, heck, Mark Jackson forgot to put Nikola Jokic on his All-NBA teams, and he got killed publicly for it. Kendrick Perkins forgot to put Brandon Miller on either of his All-Rookie teams, and he forfeited his vote. Like, the reality of the situation is that these votes need to be made public because protest votes can ruin optics. Like, Steph Curry winning the unanimous MVP was such a big deal. Realistically, LeBron should have won it 3 years earlier, but it was such a big deal because he won unanimous MVP. AJ Wilson winning unanimous MVP was such a big deal. And I get it, unanimous Rookie of the Year isn't such a big deal. Aaliyah Boston did it. I think Ryan Howard might have done it as well. Like, it's a common thing that someone wins unanimous Rookie of the Year. But the reality is that it's a lot easier to promote unanimous than it is when it's 66 of 67. And if this voter, let's just say hypothetically next year, Caitlin Clark comes out and averages her post-Olympic numbers and the Fever win 26 games. Let's say she averages, 25 and 9 for the season. Has the greatest individual season offensively anyone has ever had. Created a near unbreakable record with anyone other than herself, and the Fever are the third seed. Let's just say that's a hypothetical. Where basically the Indiana Fever become contenders, are one of the favorites to win the title, while at the same time Caitlin Clark is just far and away the best player in the league. That voter, if they're allowed vote, let's just say it's a near guarantee it's unanimous. That voter will probably won't even vote Caitlin Clark on either of the All-W teams. Like, if she couldn't make the All-WNBA teams with what she did this year, then there's nothing. Like, no one has ever averaged 15, 5, and 5 and not made the All-WNBA first team. Caitlin Clark averaged 19, 6, and 8.5. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.